This video is brought to you by Cambridge Learning NZ Limited, who is dedicated to creating astonishing videos with AI technologies. Singapore is a wealthy city-state in Southeast Asia. Once a British colonial trading post, today it is a thriving global financial hub and described as one of Asia's economic tigers. The city-state is ranked as one of the most livable cities, boasting one of the highest levels of human capital development in the world. A long, long time ago. While the earliest known historical records of Singapore are shrouded in time, a 3rd-century Chinese account describes it as Puluochong, referring to Pulau Ujong, which means the island at the end of a peninsula in the Malay language. Later, the city was known as Temasek Sea Town, when the first settlements were established from AD 1298 to 1299. During the 14th century, this small but strategically located island earned a new name. According to legend, Sang Nila Utama, a prince from Palembang, the capital of Srivijaya, was out on a hunting trip when he caught sight of an animal he had never seen before. Taking it to be a good sign, he founded a city where the animal had been spotted, naming it the Lion City or Singapura, from the Sanskrit words Simha, lion, and Pura, city. The city was then ruled by the 5 kings of ancient Singapura. Located at the tip of the Malay Peninsula, the natural meeting point of sea routes, the city flourished as a trading post for vessels such as Chinese junks, Arab dhows, Portuguese battleships, and Bajanese schooners. In 1959, the growth of nationalism led to self-government and the country's first general election. The People's Action Party (PAP) won a majority of 43 seats and Lee Kuan Yew became the first Prime Minister of Singapore. In 1963, Malaysia was formed, comprising of the Federation of Malaya, Singapore, Sarawak and North Borneo, now Sabah. The move was meant to foster closer ties. However, Singapore's merger proved unsuccessful, and less than 2 years later, on August 9, 1965, it left Malaysia to become an independent and sovereign democratic nation. Today, many slices of Singapore's multicultural, colonial and wartime past are preserved in and around the city. You can visit monuments, museums and memorials, or for a real trip through time, take a walk along a heritage trail. Modern Singapore was founded in the 19th century, thanks to politics, trade and a man known as Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles. During this time, the British Empire was eyeing a port of call in this region to base its merchant fleet and to forestall any advance made by the Dutch. Singapore, already an up-and-coming trading post along the Malacca Straits, seemed ideal. Raffles, then the Lieutenant Governor of Bencoolen, now Bengkulu, in Sumatra, landed in Singapore on January 29, 1819. Recognizing the immense potential of the swamp-covered island, he helped negotiate a treaty with the local rulers and established Singapore as a trading station. The city quickly grew as an entrepot trade hub, attracting immigrants from China, India, the Malay archipelago and beyond. In 1822, Raffles implemented the Raffles Town Plan, also known as the Jackson Plan, to address the issue of growing disorderliness in the colony. Ethnic residential areas were segregated into 4 areas. The European town had residents made up of European traders, Eurasians and rich Asians, while the ethnic Chinese were located in present-day Chinatown and southeast of the Singapore River. Ethnic Indians resided at Kulia Kampong north of Chinatown, and Kampong Jilam consisted of Muslims, ethnic Malays and Arabs who had migrated to Singapore. Singapore continued to develop as a trading post, with the establishment of several key banks, commercial associations and chambers of commerce. In 1924, a causeway opened linking the northern part of Singapore to Johor Bahru. Singapore's prosperity suffered a major blow during World War II, when it was attacked by the Japanese on December 8, 1941. The invaders arrived from the north, confounding the British military commanders who had expected an attack by sea from the south. Despite their superior numbers, the Allied forces surrendered to the Japanese on Chinese New Year, February 15, 1942. It was the largest surrender of British-led forces in history. The island, once fated as an impregnable fortress, was renamed Sainentu, or Light of the South Island, in Japanese. When the Japanese surrendered in 1945, the island was handed over to the British military administration, which remained in power until the dissolution of the Straits Settlement comprising Penang, Malacca, and Singapore. In April 1946, Singapore became a British Crown colony. In 1959, the growth of nationalism led to self-government and the country's first general election. The People's Action Party (PAP) won a majority of 43 seats and Lee Kuan Yew became the first Prime Minister of Singapore. In 1963, Malaysia was formed, comprising of the Federation of Malaya, Singapore, Sarawak and North Borneo, now Sabah. The move was meant to foster closer ties. However, Singapore's merger proved unsuccessful, and less than 2 years later on August 9, 1965, it left Malaysia to become an independent and sovereign democratic nation. Today, many slices of Singapore's multicultural, colonial and wartime past are preserved in and around the city. You can visit monuments, museums and memorials, or for a real trip through time, take a walk along a heritage trail. Thank you for watching. If you do like our videos, please visit CambridgeLearningNZ.com or follow our YouTube channel at Cambridge Learning New Zealand.